devil gotta flee. You don't have no reason. I'm bold as a lion, I don't fear no evil. Blood of Jesus on me. I'm covered, I'm lethal. Yeah, came out to find out I walk with authority. Devil been lying, but the truth is restoring me. Yeah. I got the word and it's cutting like sword to me. Step in the spirit, ain't nothing controlling me. I was in bondage, I'm breaking the chains. Speaking his name and they running in pain. You can't reside where the Holy Ghost reign. I got the power, ain't playing no games. When I speak, heaven move. When I pray, demons lose. Every stronghold breaking loose. By his blood, I'm living proof. I denounce fear, I denounce doubt. Everything not like God, I cast it out. I denounce sickness, I denounce pain. By stripes, yeah, I'm healed again. Generational curses breaking right now. Every altar falling to the ground. Every spirit in my bloodline move. You got no right, I'm living proof. Flee now.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Thedeacontalks Raw with my man Jake. Tonight we're going to go over, we're going to discuss the Carmelo Anthony trial. We're going to also rehash some of the other trials that were similar to this in recent history. So what we're going to do now is get started. Hey, Brandy.
Hello, Brandy.
Hold on, let me get this one off the screen. So basically, I got a few clips. We're going to discuss them. I put the link to the panel in the comments. So if you want to join the discussion, just click on the link. Hey, Deb.
There's Deborah. Hello.
Hey. So I put the link in the comments. So in case you want to join the panel, you might have a different take. You might have some information we don't have. But
and that's a good thing to have people come on here with different takes.
Right.
We don't want no echo chambers in here. You know, if you don't agree with something and you want to come up and say it, then come on.
Basically. So I'll play this first clip here. This is I'm gonna play, which one is the CBS one? All right, we're gonna play this Fox one first.
So now defense attorneys for Carmelo Anthony making their case, claiming he acted in self-defense when he fatally stabbed Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet. The state rested his case on Saturday. Brooke Taylor is live in McKinney, Texas, to bring us up to date on this case. Brooke.
Hi, Bill. Well, the testimony during this trial has been emotional. The jurors heard from more than a dozen students that were under the tent and saw the stabbing. Now, prosecutors straight up asked several of these witnesses, was this self-defense? And they simply answered no. So Carmelo Anthony, he is charged with murder after admitting to fatally stabbing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf in the chest during a high school track meet last year. Investigators say the confrontation started after Anthony was sitting under another school's team tent. Witnesses testified that Metcalf repeatedly asked him to leave. Jurors were shown grainy surveillance footage showing the physical confrontation lasted just seconds. Now, an 18-year-old witness who knew both Anthony and Metcalf took the stand. He testified, quote, Carmelo said, "You will have to move me." Austin put his hand on his back. I saw Carmelo's hand go in the backpack. We're at a track meet. I wouldn't expect anything to be in there, Carmelo said. Touch me. You'll have to move me and find out, trying to provoke him. Then what happens, the prosecutor asks. The witness says Austin put his hand on him and falls back. How was Austin trying to move him? The witness says it was him trying to move him off his seat, a soft shove. A 16-year-old witness then testified that, quote, Anthony repeated, F y'all, I'm not going to leave. He said Anthony also threatened, touch me and see what happens, while Metcalf told him, I'm not going to fight you. And then notably, this was big over the weekend, one of the defense's own witnesses during cross-examination said, quote, I think Carmelo was in the wrong. Prosecutors added, did Carmelo Anthony provoke the confrontation? The witness answered yes. Now the state rested after calling 21 witnesses. Now the defense presenting their case. We're expected to hear from more of their witnesses today, Bill.
Wow. Okay, Brooke Taylor, thank you. Watching that case in Texas. Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox 1.
All right. Basically, I'm just trying to set up everything for everybody so people can hear, some of the witness testimony or whatever, because some people just have a different take. Or some people have straight up lies. I mean, I just want to let them know, let the news tell us what they've seen and heard in the courtroom. This next one is from Dallas News.
The defense rested its case Monday in the murder trial of Carmelo Anthony after presenting only a handful of witnesses, since the state rested its own case Saturday and did not call Carmelo Anthony to the stand. Here's what we saw in court today. We heard from two students who said they witnessed parts of the altercation between Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf, testimony that was challenged by prosecutors who said video evidence from Kirkendall Stadium directly disputed the timelines that they presented. In both instances, Assistant District Attorney Bill Werski said he had met with these students earlier this year, showed them the video he was referring to, and had them affirm multiple times that that video showed something different than what they remembered. After that, Judge Roach called an early lunch break about 11:15 and said that it was for attorneys to decide how best to proceed. And here's where things took a bit of an unexpected turn. We did not re-enter the courtroom until about 2:30 p.m., so 3 hours later. And as soon as the jury was seated, the defense announced it was resting its case. Closing arguments are now set to begin tomorrow at 9 a.m. We'll keep you updated at dallasnews.com.
All right, so we have right there reporters reporting because they were in the they were there. And Deborah's like, no, I'll scare the panel. Anyway, basically, and I just came off of the verdict with Pop and Politics. And basically, they said I was on ARP today. They all said the defense just they didn't prep right for this case. Go ahead.
I was going to just agree with you on the they didn't prep on the defense. Here's the thing: there was a GoFundMe for this kid, and they raised what $600,000 for it. And then they blew all the money from this GoFundMe that was set up for his defense. And when it came time for the trial, he got a public defender because he was broke. Because what did they do with this money? They blew it. They blew it. And then they got stuck with a public defender. Man, listen, if you're going to go commit a crime and you got X amount of money to pay for a lawyer, get yourself an outside lawyer. Man, $500,000 could have bought someone better than that. The defense was terrible. But I just wanted to agree with you with that. That was.
Listen, I'm all over the internet. Once the trial even started, so I'm trying to pay attention, and I'm like, people saying that he got jumped. There was fist fighting. I'm like,
they had a guy outside the courthouse that said he saw the video and that he was some kind of school official.
Yeah. What do you mean, the PDF?
Yeah. It turned out to be a special type of person. But then people are believing this stuff.
Yeah, they believed it.
And it serves no point but to divide even more. Mm-hmm. Like 90% of the people who are saying the things online have no clue. They're not reading actual trial transcripts or understanding the evidence, or let alone the law on self-defense. Excuse me.
Come on, I keep losing all my listeners. The internet must be sucking. Go ahead.
Um, Self-defense is pretty well established in every state. Every state has its own laws, you know, but in most states, you can't be the aggressor and then kill somebody and claim self-defense. That's a core attribute of all the laws. You know what I mean? I can't go up to you, call you an N-word, get you riled up where you hit me, and then me shoot you. You
Right.
do that because I started the fight for a reason. You know, maybe that was my purpose in the beginning anyway, to kill you. I just wanted to give myself an excuse to do it.
Right.
It's so stupid. Like, people, wake up. I blame the education system. I'm not black, but I would blame black culture, to be honest.
Well, here's the thing. This is some stuff that's just now coming out that a lot of people don't know. Carmelo Anthony did not grow up in Texas. Carmelo Anthony is from Louisiana. Her mother met a car salesman and moved to Texas. Carmelo's father got warrants, they say, in Louisiana, and they said he was stirring the whole thing up the whole year that this, you know, this trial, this case was going on.
Well, you know who Sarah Fields is, right?
I heard the name.
Sarah Fields is a lady who's been covering this pretty much from the beginning. The Anthony family has harassed her, defamed her, done so many crazy things to her. She's actually literally suing them right now for defamation.
Wow. I
Um,
heard it. Now I know where I heard the name from. I
Yeah.
heard about
yeah, so she's literally suing them because they were calling her a lying bitch and, you know, having her house swatted and stuff like this. Like, and let's talk about the public speaker for the Anthony family.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that
That
criminal.
guy, yeah, exactly, that criminal. And then he tried to sue her too because he said that she defamed him when she called him a criminal. Bro,
Right.
you got like fucking 12 charges, not just simple charges. You got car theft, assault, forgery. You're a criminal. You're a criminal.
Yeah. And then you have
Now I know you went to jail, but I wouldn't consider you a criminal because you're not out here doing criminal stuff. Like, maybe you did something in the government's eyes that they didn't like. I don't know the details of your case.
it actually was something that they didn't like, and they decided we got to find a way to shut him up. We're tired of pro se litigants coming into state, local, and federal courts defending themselves. So yeah,
I mean, but I wouldn't say you're a criminal because you haven't reoffended in how long? Like, let's go.
that's right. You're
You know,
right.
I've known felons who, did dumb stuff when they were in their teens, and they're still a felon.
Right.
But 20 years later, they have never done anything else wrong, and I don't consider them felons at that point. You can make
Right.
mistakes.
Mhm.
Everybody deserves forgiveness to some degree. Kamala Anthony does too, but forgiveness sometimes takes time. And just because you're sorry and you want forgiveness doesn't mean you're absolved of the consequences.
Right. I was now they found him guilty, first degree murder, and they gave him 35 years.
Yeah, I was thinking that they would give him either 5 to 10 or 15 to 20. That's what I was assuming because he is a young age.
Right. Right.
And I figured that in some way that would be like, well, let's not throw him away forever. But
Mhm.
35, I was hoping for 40 minimum was what
Ah.
so
Well,
35 I can, whatever. He's got time to think about what he did. Whether or
Right.
not he comes out as a better person, that is up to Mr. Anthony.
I got you.
You can come out of prison any way you want. It's up to you.
I got you. You had other things also going on with the case. Um, them buying cars and blowing money and stuff like that.
Yeah, that GoFundMe money.
Yeah,
Hiring private security because they said they have death threats and stuff. I don't believe it.
okay,
I think it was a way of them to hype up the race relation, like the race hating relationship, to maybe get some sympathy if they did get a black person on the jury. And the reason why they didn't get a person who was black on the jury
right,
is because when they pulled them, they literally said, I don't think I could be unbiased towards a brother. Like the one black
right,
guy said, I would have a hard time locking up a brother. You know what I mean?
hmm,
And you got to be impartial and fair. You can't just base it off, oh, he's my race, so
right,
I'm just
you're
gonna
right.
go with. And here's the thing, people: there's only one race, the human race.
That's right.
Okay, we are all the same. The only thing that differentiates us is, like, I like to talk about, like, different breeds of dogs. They're all dogs. Okay, some have spots, some don't.
Right.
That's the only difference. We are all human. We're only human. That's it. Stop this race stuff, man. I love CJ. It don't matter what color he is.
Same here. Look, I mean, a lot of, the reason why it got that way, it was from the very beginning. Um, when the Metcalf father came to the press conference, he had already forgiven Carmelo of what he did, because
Right, but
that's what we do as believers. And so he came to stand with them. Even though your son killed my son, this is what Christians do. We come alongside you and basically support. You know,
right, because they're losing their kid too
yeah,
in a way.
they losing. You're
He,
gonna
he's
lose your
he's
kid.
he's 19 years old. He's got 35 years. He's going to come out an old man. He's going to
Right.
come out. Well, he's going to come out in his late 50s.
Early 50s, early 50s.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Well, early 50s, but still, that's better part of your life. You've spent.
It's going to be behind bars, and that sucks.
Absolutely. But don't go around poking people, man. Like, and
The,
I
the
I think I've talked about my self defense issue that I had in the past. And
no,
no, I didn't tell you about that.
do tell.
So when I lived up in Pennsylvania, in Harrisburg, I was at a gas station. I was just getting gas, and I was in my vehicle,
Hmm.
texting on my phone. And this homeless guy comes over and is, let me, wash your windows. I'm like, bro, I don't need my windows washed. I'm kind of busy. I'm talking to my boss and stuff. And then he kept on asking, getting irate, and I'm like, dude, step away. I'm not interested. I went to roll the window up, and he reached in the car, started hitting me, and tried to pull me out.
What?
Yeah,
A homeless guy?
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
And I
goodness.
pulled my firearm and I shot twice through the driver's side door.
Okay.
At the time, I was only carrying a 380, kind of a small caliber weapon. First round didn't really make it through the door. The second round did, and actually penetrated the guy torso right above his belly button. And it
Right.
didn't go in all the way because low powered gun going through a door and all, but you could see
Right.
the back end of the bullet sticking out of his stomach.
Wow.
Um, I mean, he let go right away because at that point he knew.
He had
And
hot
then he
lead
he
in him.
yeah he ran to the store, called the cops, and I waited. I wasn't going to go nowhere. You know, they did arrest me. They did
Hmm.
they did say I tried to kill him. And sitting in the interrogation room, they tried to get me to admit that I tried to kill him for no reason. And I'm thinking, I said to the detective, I was like, listen, guy, it's a 380, and he's up against my door trying to pull me out. Okay, what other way could I have shot him? Like, if I would have just shot him without the bullet going through the door, it would have probably killed him. You know what I mean? Like, it would have went in him and done some serious damage. If he didn't die, he'd be seriously injured. But I was in jail for about 3 weeks
Good grief.
before they got the videotape from the convenience store. Convenience store didn't want to give it to me because I had shot a black person.
Wow.
and they were black. They actually had to get subpoenaed to get the footage. Afterwards, they found out, and judges like cut him loose. And the cops are like, "Hey, buddy, we're sorry. We're just doing our job." I'm like, "Fuck you! You tried to get me to admit that I tried to kill someone for no good reason." Like and I was scared, bro, because they're like, "Oh, we're gonna put you in for 25 lives. You just, 25 years minimum. You just tried to kill someone." I'm like, "Bro, I didn't want to do it." But he reached in my car and started punching me and pulling me out. What have he done if he got me out of the car? You know what I mean? Because
Right.
it was just like so quick. Like it happened so quick, bro. It was irate, and then I went to roll my window up, and he reached in there, started hitting on me, smashed my head into the steering wheel and stuff. So I was disoriented at first. I was like, "What's going on?" Like, what would happen if he would have been able to knock me silly, pull me out of the car, and then seen the firearm and then decided, "Hey, I'll just finish him off."
Right. That's right.
You know what I mean? So, I'm glad the guy's alive. I'm not too happy about the police investigation from Harrisburg, but it is what it is.
Mm.
But that's my self defense thing, and like when you're in a situation like that, it's usually very close, and it's quick.
Right.
So under the defense's claim that he didn't have enough time to really react, like other than doing it, that I could understand that if it was a true self defense case.
Right.
But it wasn't. You know what I mean? There was no violence there. Like a push is not enough.
And this is where I was like, where are they getting this? He was being jumped and all. Where are they getting this information from? Oh, I know. The guy who did a video a week after everything happened claimed his daughters was underneath the tent.
Well, I thought it was an all male track meet though. So I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Not to say your girlfriend couldn't show up. I guess whatever.
But no, he's saying his daughters were there underneath the tent, and he seen the whole thing. I was like, why you ain't record it?
Yeah, why didn't? Because everybody had a gag order at this.
Yeah, point. Everybody had their phones, and so, like I said, it started from the very beginning of the incident. All of the craziness, all of this, lies, basically. Everybody creating their own story.
Yeah, but it does nothing but harm, man.
Yeah. Oh, and then they posted a Photoshop picture of Carmelo Anthony with bruises on him.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, you better believe when he was put into custody and brought into that interrogation room, they took pictures of his body immediately. Oh, you know what I mean?
That's what we do.
Most of the times the arresting officer, if it's something that serious, they're taking pictures of you when you're in the car sometimes.
Yeah.
But not only that, you're going to be on body camera. We didn't get to see the body camera from in court. I'm sure it'll come out at some point.
Well, no, what they showed was because the body camera also recorded audio. So the only thing they played was the audio.
They didn't even show the police video recording. I'm pretty sure they played the video, like the whole officer, but that was in court, so we didn't get to see that.
No, in the court, what they did play was when they finally caught up to Carmelo, and the police officer says, "We have the alleged suspect here with us," and then you can hear Carmelo in the background says, "It's not alleged, I did it."
And see, that's you're breaking the golden rule. Stop self-snitching. Like, most criminals will self-snitch, and if they just keep their mouth shut, things would go a lot better. Like, saying that part and the jury hearing that part doesn't look good. You know what I mean? I mean, the rest of the evidence didn't look good, but, that didn't help. You know what I mean? Like, and it goes for any crime that you're suspected of. You get pulled over for a traffic violation, you don't have to talk to them other than give them your ID, sign the paperwork, leave.
That's it.
That's it. Don't talk to them. Be like, I'm not going to answer any questions. Am I being detained? Yes. Okay. What do you need? Give me your ID, registration, whatever.
And
Yeah,
move on about your business.
exactly. You don't have to talk to them about anything. And a lot of times, just talking to them can give them a reason to search.
Yeah.
So exercise your rights, man. Criminal or not, they're your rights. Criminal or not, they're there to
That's,
protect you.
you're innocent.
Even when you're in the wrong, they're still there to protect you.
Listen. If more people learn that, like when I was growing up, and I'm a GXer, uh, I was told, police ask you something, you tell them what you know. If you don't know nothing, you tell them I don't know. If they tell you you need to back up, back up. They tell you get out the way, get out the way. That's law enforcement. This is how you treat law enforcement.
Well, I've watched many police arrests on YouTube and stuff, and every time that you see an irate black person, they go extra on the cop
Mm-hmm.
instead of just following simple directions. Like, if you would follow the directions, there's no reason for this yelling and screaming and escalating. Like,
And
you're not helping yourself.
yeah, you're not. And then all of a sudden you get, all of a sudden you'll get,
That's crazy, Deborah, that he let you go like that. I lost a good friend to a DUI. So if I was that cop, I'm sorry, but I'd be taking you in. So
wow,
you got lucky on that, absolutely. But you do have some nice cops.
yeah.
Uh, you know, I,
I mean, to think about it, up front, working for the prison, I got a little bit of privilege. I would get pulled over and whatnot, and I would either keep my badge on me or be hanging from my rearview mirror. And why I stopped you? Not really. When you was weaving inside the lane, that's why I stopped you. It's okay. Is there any guns in the car, Mr. Jackson? Yes, there is. Okay, and where do you work? I says I work for Special Operations, Georgia Department of Corrections. All right, well, look, if you're tired, find a rest area and get some rest and whatnot. Hopefully, this stop woke you up and send you on your way. I've had it where I'm in the shopping center. I just got in my car, pull out the parking space, and the police pulled me over for not wearing the seatbelt.
yeah, see, that's ridiculous too. When I leave the grocery store down here, I'll get in the truck, I'll back out, and then I'll get ready to leave, and that's when I snap my belt on. Like, I don't hit the main road without my belt being on. You know what I mean?
Right.
To get you in the parking lot, man. He was looking for quota, and if
Oh,
they say they don't have quota, because quotas are technically illegal here in Georgia, there's
right.
ways around it. There's ways around it.
Yeah, Rolling Thunder. If you
Yeah.
don't know what Rolling Thunder is, that's when the police department teams up with other county or city police departments, along with GSP, Georgia State Patrol, and for a weekend they catching everything moving.
Yep. But traffic laws are very easy to obey. It's not that hard.
Right.
So, and if you make a mistake while you're driving, just own up to it, man. You're gonna pay the ticket anyway. Hell, you could show up to court and fight it too. Maybe the cop don't even show up. That's happened to me a few times. You know,
Mm,
they don't even show up on their own court date, so the judge just throws it out the door.
right. So I mean, um, it's a shame. I'm praying for Carmelo Anthony because I'll probably be dead when he get out of jail. Um, that puts me in my 90s.
Yeah. Hell, hey, I could be dead by that point too.
Yeah, but
I'm 40, so
oh,
I'd
yeah,
be 75.
75. Yeah, you're right. So, I know we talking about the Carmelo Anthony case, but I want to rehash a couple of other cases. So we're gonna start with this one right here.
Ruling this evening in the trial of George Zimmerman, accused in the murder of Trayvon Martin. It involves the recording of a 911 call on which screams for help can be heard. But whose screams are they? Tonight, the judge ruling that the jury will have to decide that for themselves. Here's ABC's Gio Benitez.
It's a central question in the George Zimmerman trial. Who is crying for help in that 911 call? Is it Zimmerman or Trayvon Martin?
Do you think he's yelling help? Yes. All right, what is your...
Zimmerman claims that's his voice and that he shot Martin in self-defense last year. But the Martin family and prosecutors argue it's the 17-year-old crying for help. But now a judge rules prosecutors can't bring in their voice experts, writing in an order there is no evidence to establish that their scientific techniques have been tested and found reliable. The two sides have battled it out, prosecutors trying to convince the judge to allow their voice experts, the defense trying to dismiss them.
It is not unusual for scientists to have very different views.
I don't follow the difference.
The 911 recording is probably the best evidence of what happened other than George Zimmerman himself. And remember, we don't have the testimony from Trayvon Martin.
It's so complicated, even a voice analyst ABC News brought the recording to said he couldn't be sure whose voice is on the tape because the recording isn't clear enough.
There's standards for voice identification that this case doesn't match.
And opening statements are scheduled to begin Monday morning, but now we know jurors will have to decide whose voice is on that tape.
I remember that. That was the summer of love. Remember that? All them riots and stuff.
That wasn't it.
They had riots after Trayvon Martin.
George Floyd. That's when they was.
No, they had riots after Trayvon.
They had
Martin.
riots too.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And it's here's the thing. You see white people murder people all the time, and if you're talking about population-wise, yes, white people do commit more murders. But let's look at the population of white people in the United States. We are the majority of people in this country.
62%.
So, if we're 62% of the overall population in the United States, of course we are going to be the number one in murders. But let's talk about per capita. Per capita is very important because it shows per thousand. You know what I mean? And people say, oh, per capita is racist, but it's really not. Based on per capita, you're more likely to get killed by a black person. A black person's more likely to kill another black person than they are to kill a white person. Black on black crime is higher than it is for white on white crime.
And y'all got y'all got more numbers. The other thing that people don't get is the black community here in the United States represents 12 to 14% of the population. And out of that 12 to 14%, the black community creates 50% of violent crimes.
And that's terrible. And I think it's because of culture. You look at the music, the kids see these gangsters waving big stacks of money by their head, like I don't know what the hell that's all about. Watched a video where the kid got killed, but he was sitting in his car with a big wad of cash like this. Two other people run up and shoot him in the head, take his money. It's like this is the culture. It breeds nothing but violence. The music, the twerking, the over sexuality, if I disrespect you, you have a reason to come kill me thing. The Reds, the Crips, Bloods, all this stuff. Like you can be killed over the dumbest reasons. And you don't even have to be from that. You could be from out of state, visiting a family member, have a blue shirt on in the wrong place. Doesn't matter your race. That's enough to get you killed.
Right. You're right. And so, in that case, the father was asked by police when they played the 911 call. This is what was left out. And he says, whose voice is that on the 911 call? Is that your son? And the father said, no, that's not my son. That's the reason why they wanted to get the 911 call into the trial, because they already knew that that was George Zimmerman on the ground crying or screaming, "Help! Help! Help!"
Yep.
Now, here's some things that people bring up, brought up in this case. Like, well, Trayvon Martin was supposed to be there. His father lived there. I was like, what details do you know about the reason why he was over his father's house? They don't know. So I dig. Trayvon Martin was over his daddy's house because he got suspended from school. And because mama worked,
What was he
he could
suspended for? Do you know?
selling porno tapes.
See, what a crazy hustle for a teenager to have.
Well, 17-year-old. So, I mean, this is stuff that like people don't, they don't get. They people didn't. You ain't do enough research. You don't know. It's like, well, then they go back to, well, Zimmerman was told to stop following him. Well, he did. He stopped at the corner. Trayvon Martin circled back and came back around and ambush Zimmerman. Zimmerman had a broken nose and a bloody face when the police finally got there.
Yeah, he
According to
was
Zimmerman,
smashing his head into the ground,
yeah.
and that that could be a fatal blow. So yeah, I would shoot absolutely.
So I mean, I'm thinking to myself,
White is still definitely the majority in this country.
yeah, Deborah, they are. They make up 62% of the
But
population.
you know,
And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. The reason why it's still so high is because you have people in the country that do not identify as African American.
right. And then another reason is, I find that white people are more willing to date black people in general. Black men are willing to date white women every day of the week. Like, black men love white women. White men love black women, but black women in general will not date a white person as easily as a black man will date a white person, if that makes sense.
All right, Carmen, we done went past the Anthony case,
Now
and
we're on Zimmerman.
now we're on the George Zimmerman case. Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman, and I got two other cases we're gonna react to also, just to bring you up to speed. Let me see what else was in this. Oh, when George Zimmerman testified, he said he was hitting me, and I guess he seen my gun, so he started grabbing for my firearm, and he only shot him one time.
That's all it takes.
That's all it took.
I mean, it doesn't matter if it starts with a push, and then you see my gun and you start grappling for my gun. At that point, it's over. Because I know if you're going for my gun, I need to go for my gun. It's what it is.
Now, check this out. Remember Arbery? Remember that case?
Yep.
And they even got the video of it.
Yep.
Arbery tried to grab the shotgun from the police officer, and it went off. You could see him physically trying to take the gun away from the guy, and it went off. What was he expecting?
Yeah,
flowers to come out of the front of it. Oh, because he grabbed it, he magically.
Because you got to think he's grabbing the gun from the front of the cop. He's probably going like this, and the cop still got his finger on the trigger. So when this jostling's happening, that trigger finger's ready. It's there. It's going off. Like, it wasn't the cop's fault. The cop didn't even intend to shoot the dude.
Right. And so, but because, of the circumstances around it, they found the father and the son guilty. And the other gentleman that was with him, I think he got probation, even though he filmed the whole thing. They wouldn't have no evidence if he wouldn't have been there filming.
Yeah.
The whole case centered around Arbery going into houses that were like under construction.
Yep, I remember that, stealing construction tools
Yeah,
and stuff, like
yeah.
wild.
Now here's the thing. Now. Remember, after he gets shot, he runs away, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can see that he has something heavy. No, a hammer dropped out of his shorts when he ran away. But the guy who was building the house, the owner, said that no tools were missing. Then why was he out jogging with a hammer in his pocket? I see people walk and jog with sticks and poles, short poles or canes, or whatever. But a hammer?
I mean,
Yeah.
what was he doing? Smashing windows, breaking into something? I mean,
That's exactly what a hammer is used for.
It's not a tool that you'd carry around while you're jogging, man. Like,
right. And so, but that was that case. And I'm gonna move on to the next case. This next one.
All these cases are very unfortunate. Like, nobody deserves to die.
Right.
But when you try to commit a crime against someone like this, some people are going to fight back. It's not going to be. Not everybody's an easy target.
Right. All right. Kyle Rittenhouse. Let's do.
Rittenhouse is in a juvenile facility in Vernon Hills tonight, charged with 2 counts of intentional homicide, 1 count of attempted intentional homicide, along with several weapons violations. Reporter Richie McGinnis interviewed the Antioch teen that night. McGinnis was interviewed by police because he also witnessed one of the shootings.
People are getting injured, and our job is to protect this business, and part of my job is to also help people. If there's somebody hurt, I'm running into harm's way.
Independent journalist Richie McGinnis interviewed Kyle Rittenhouse the night police say the 17-year-old Antioch teen killed 2 people in Kenosha.
I don't know exactly what his motivations were. He did tell me that he was there to protect the peace and to provide medical attention.
Are you from the area?
I am from the area.
What brought you out here tonight? You just wanted to provide medical attention?
Provide medical attention to people that need it. If somebody's injured, like, you get hurt, I'm grabbing you.
McGinnis is a witness cited in the criminal complaint filed by prosecutors in Kenosha County today.
The way that he was describing what his role was seemed very detached from the way that he was being perceived. And so that's what I mean when I say he seemed very naive.
Rittenhouse is heard on McGinnis's video saying medical as he walked through the crowd. Tonight, the Wisconsin lieutenant governor reacted to the charges and why Rittenhouse was even in Kenosha.
These armed men who have no connection to even this state, they're guys from our town. So think about how ridiculous that is. Who is he accountable to? Nobody. And for him to even be able to shoot somebody and still walk away from the scene, I mean, you know, they talked about finding a knife inside of the car, not even on Jacob Blake's person, but this guy's carrying around a long gun, killed somebody, just walking freely, was able to get back home to Illinois, then, you know, we got a much bigger problem on our hands.
Kyle Rittenhouse is scheduled to appear in a Lake County, Illinois court in Waukegan tomorrow morning for an extradition hearing. Alan? Okay.
Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our ABC7 Chicago YouTube channel.
So this was a really interesting case because it dealt with self-defense and firearms laws. Now, would I want my 16-year-old carrying a firearm and being in that area at that time? Hell no. But was he legally allowed to do it? Yeah. A lot of states allow kids of that age to carry a long arm in public.
Now,
wouldn't suggest doing it.
All right. What people don't know is his father lives there.
Yeah.
So yeah, he has a reason to be there, and he was a part of a militia.
But here's the thing: you don't need permission to be anywhere. You shouldn't need permission anywhere to be in some place that you are legally allowed to be, okay? Yeah. And not being told to leave a tent, for instance. There's a big difference.
Right.
Okay, if I want to go to a different state, I don't need a reason to go to that state. This is America. You know what I mean?
Now, the videos that I wanted to play were like the drone videos of that shows the first killing, or the first deletion by Rittenhouse, whereas he's at the car dealership and he gets swarmed and he tries to get away from the crowd. And then one of the guys from the crowd runs up and tries to grab the gun and catches one in the face.
Yeah, why would you do that with someone's arm, man?
And so, well, it's a kid. You thinking the kid might get startled or whatever, but when you're trained on weapons, it becomes second nature. Because the one kid that he shot, the one that pointed the gun at him,
It was a pedo too.
He was a pedo. Yeah, I heard about that. But the thing is, even on the ground, Cal was able to hit him in his shooting hand, and that's the reason why he didn't get the shot off.
Yep. I mean, if you're good with your gun and you train with it, that you should be doing that if you're going to be carrying every day. Absolutely.
Right.
If you don't know how to use it, you shouldn't be.
So you had when he fell down, some guy tried to hit him with a skateboard, and then another person came up to stomp him, and he caught one of those bullets too. And that's the definition. He tried to retreat. They kept following and chasing, and so the only thing he knew to do was to defend himself.
Yep.
That is defense. I remember I was in the military. I was in the Navy and I was boxing and whatnot. And I would go to the nightclubs and bars with my friends. And one day we went to this one nightclub and they wanted to get into a fight.
Mm.
And I made my way to the door to my car. After the people, some of them got kicked out for fighting. They was like, why you wasn't in there with us? I was like, number one, if I hit somebody, I go to jail. If you hit somebody, it's just simple assault. I hit somebody and they can file charges for attempted murder.
Yeah, not only that, you fall under the military code of justice. Like
the
outcome's worse for you. Even if you don't go to jail, like you're going to be pulling extra duty, possible rank deduction, unpromotable forever, like career ruined.
And it doesn't. And here's the thing: I told him, I was like, it doesn't even matter if I'm defending myself or defending others. I got to use a weapon. If I use my hands and feet, I'm in trouble. And because that's how it works. When I joined the Special Operations Squad, IRT, they told us. They told us, you all are now part of the Georgia Top 200. And what they mean by that is top 200, they mean as far as deadliest people in the state. And so, but with Rittenhouse, he had to grow up real fast.
Yeah.
He lost a bit of his teenage years as far as being a regular kid, all because of that incident.
I mean, just sitting in that chair in the courthouse has got to take years off you because that's your life.
Yeah.
That boy looking at life in prison, like he would have, because of his age, he would have got life with chance of parole, but still, chance of parole doesn't mean you'll get it either. Let's be real.
That is true.
Because Manson didn't kill anybody, and that guy never got parole.
There it is. And this is the ending right here.
Will rise and face the jury and hearken to its verdicts.
State of Wisconsin versus Kyle Rittenhouse. As to the first count of the information, Joseph Rosenbaum. We, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the second count of the information, Richard McGinnis, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the third count of the information, unknown male, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the fourth count of the information, Anthony Huber, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the fifth count of the information, Gage Grosskreutz, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
Members of the jury, are these your unanimous verdicts? Is there anyone who does not agree with the verdicts as read?
Man, you could see the emotion in him, and again, that's his life, man. Like
That's right. That's right. And it's amazing how these days, think about it. Your 17-year-old could join the military. Basically, they're going to teach him how to drive. They're going to teach him how to shoot a gun, all kinds of guns.
And bombs and grenades.
And weapons and whatever. But he still got to wait till he's 21 to take a drink.
Yeah, I never agreed. I've never agreed. Old enough to die, but not old enough to take a sip. Like, get out of here.
And look, and I think it's a lot of UK states, if you can reach the bar, get up on the bar stool, you can buy a drink.
Yeah, they have, it's technically 14, but
yeah.
If they see, a 10-year-old having a glass of wine for dinner, it's usually low alcohol content wine. And not only that, they have the lowest levels of alcoholism compared to us. Like, because let's be real, we don't teach our kids, man. I remember waking up in cornfields at 14 years old, wasted.
Wow.
That was the thing. We go out and, there used to be this beer distributor. This is one of my little criminal expertises. Like, there used to be the beer distributor, and they'd put out their cubes of beer.
Right.
So we'd steal my buddy's dad's truck when he was sleeping, and we'd go down there, and we'd pull up right next to these cases of beer, and then we'd all, like, three of us would be laying in the bed of the truck flat. He'd race up, stop right there, and then we'd all jump out, and we'd grab 2 cases, jump back in the truck, and take off. So,
wow.
Are we all guilty of doing things? Yes. It was stupid to do? Yes. I mean, I never got caught for it, but still, I kind of, I'm ashamed of it. Like, that was dumb. I could have gotten in so much trouble and wasted so much time on probation or whatever. It's not worth it, really. But at the time, we thought it was a hell of a hoot.
Right.
We all do. We all make mistakes.
All right. So the next one I want to talk about, which is most recent, Rick Chow, who was found not guilty of unaliving another black kid. The kid came into the store. He's 14 years old. He's acting kind of weird, so they followed.
He had no money either. Like,
no money.
Had what are you doing in the store with no money and a gun?
Right.
I think this is my working theory. He went into the store with no money and a gun, looking to rob the place, got cold feet, and left.
That's what I'm thinking, too.
And they thought he stole something, so they pursued him. And he ended up pointing a gun at somebody. But roll the film.
Mm-hmm. But, I'm about to, let me do this right here. Do I got this on mute? Yeah, you do. Okay. This is what these crazy people yelling about here real quick. I'm going to bring this on here. It's amazing. Hold up. I need to put it in the queue. All right. Listen to these crazy people. It's funny.
People who do not fucking like you and cannot fucking stand you. You rather be befriend people who used to make fun of you as children because we're calling you out for you all being racist?
Bro, I don't think you guys like us either. I got so many comments saying how black people don't want Asian people in their black community. As someone whose parents owned a Chinese restaurant in a predominantly black neighborhood, I faced a lot of racism from black people specifically growing up. We would get robbed, we would get shot at, we would get death threats. Kids used to put rocks in snowballs and throw them at me and my siblings. Both kids and adults would yell at us to go back to our country. I was born in America, by the way. So I'm a little confused on what this video is trying to say. How are Asians sucking up and befriending those who treated us badly in the past? No hate to this original creator though, she makes a lot of valid points, I just don't know why I was mentioned in this video. For expressing my own opinion, I have been getting harassed in my comment section, in my DMs, and getting tagged in a shit ton of videos.
You rather sit at the feet of the people who do not fucking like you and cannot fucking stand you. You rather befriend people who used to make...
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. Now, let's take a look about if anybody did some things to Asian Americans. It was the Democrats during World War II when they put them in camps. Okay, let's be real, lady. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm. We're not done there. How about
my aunt's Korean. She actually came from North Korea, escaped when she was 9 years old. So,
wow.
You know, I love her cooking. Damn, it's good.
Yeah, it's just crazy how, people just spout out and they don't know. So according to this stuff that I've researched and looked into, yes, he grabbed a bunch of water bottles, he put them all back, and like you said, he came in there with a gun, and I believe he came in there to rob the place and got cold feet. Because when they asked him to empty his pockets, he walked outside and then walked around the corner and then took off running.
Well, he ended up pointing the gun at one of the individuals, and that's what.
Now that's after he fell,
right?
130 yards from the gas station.
Should they have chased him? No.
Yeah, just let him go.
But at that point, they weren't going to do anything to him. I don't believe. Maybe hold him till the police showed up.
Police came. That's right.
I think at that point he was afraid he was going to get caught when he tripped and pointed the gun. Easy rule in life: don't point a fucking gun at somebody if you don't want to die. Don't do it, man. You don't point a gun at somebody unless you intend to use it, and that goes both ways.
Yeah,
man, don't do it. Don't. Where is where's your human preservation, man? Where's your survival instincts? Yeah, you messed up. You got caught with a gun. Eat it.
Yeah.
I wish we could do better, Carmen. It's ridiculous. A lot of times I get a lot of hate online because they're like, "Oh, you're a racist. You're a fascist," and it's like, man, I'm not though. I'm not.
I'm not none of that.
I ain't got time to hate people like that. I honestly, at this point, I don't hate anybody in my life. I dislike people.
And here's the thing: what people don't understand, to hate someone, that takes up energy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You have to use energy to hate. When just letting things go and leaving.
And that's universal between someone who isn't religious and someone who is. Right. I ain't got the energy to spend on you because, like I said, I don't hate nobody. I dislike people. I could dislike somebody. I'm not going to associate with them. I'm not going to give them the time of the day. But I don't hate them. I'm not going to go out of my way to be vindictive and just do things to them. That's crazy.
And in this case, it came out the child's been robbed 3-4 times before this incident.
Yeah, didn't he shoot 3 other people at some time?
Yeah, because they were trying to rob the place.
Well, look at the area, man. Maybe the community that lives in that area needs to start looking at why he has to protect his property like that.
Right.
I mean, I never understood. Like, I tried to tell. I had a discussion with someone who was black online. I'm like, I've seen more racists with black people hating other black people.
Yeah.
Than I've seen personally of white people being racist to a black person. Like, it's crazy. Like nobody. It's like it's so much. It's so tribal. It's crazy. Like if you're not in our tribe, you're an outcast, and we don't really care what happens to you.
Basically. Yeah, that's basically it. But we came up on an hour there, Jake.
Yeah, we did.
You got any last comments?
You know, I know that some of our viewers are black. Obviously, I'm not colorblind.
No, we got some white folk on here too. But go ahead.
Right, but listen, white and black people, listen. Talk to your family members, because even though you may agree with what we're saying, I'm sure that you have somebody in your family that doesn't. You should do your due part every day to try to set them on the right path. You know, racism goes both ways. We need to stamp it out, and the one way we do it is stop blaming each other for each other's crimes. Blame the person who committed the crime.
Hey, that's right.
That's all I got to say, man. I love everybody here. You know, like I dislike some people out there, you know, but I hate nobody. I
got you. Dummy me. I had a video clip. I had it. How would I say it? I had a video clip of Mexicans catapulting people over the border. I'll show that next week.
Oh yeah, definitely. What the heck?
But
come to America, break your leg.
You know, other than that, man, thanks, Jake, for coming on, being
You're
my
welcome,
partner,
of course.
and all of you all that came in. But right now, as you know,
at least internationally, travel to
London, Paris, Tokyo, Japan, go to New York, LA, Chi-Town, man, travel Vegas, Rome, Atlanta, know that I'm home. I'm internationally known. I'm international flow. Feeling out like I made it, touch the ground, I'm shaking the pavement. Got these shows in various places, got these shorties all in my face. Tell that DJ, bring it back, if he don't, it's time to react. And this if throwing the stack with foreign chicks all in my flat. Couple thousand on